today, and Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations, and you are the people that are doing it. As we stop the war on crypto, we will immediately, and we'll do this very quickly, begin to build our economy, because when America is prospering, Bitcoin is soaring, and it'll go up with it. We had the greatest economy ever, and we will soon have it again. Under the Trump administration, the typical middle-class family income rose by $6,000 a year. People don't like mentioning that. America had more money to save than at any time in many decades. As a result, during my 4 years in office, now you have to listen to these numbers. These numbers are like beautiful. And I don't want to repeat myself. Listen to these numbers. As a result, during my 4 years in office, Bitcoin surged by 3,900%, from $898 the day I took office to $35,900 the day I left. That was the biggest jump, I guess, in just about any industry. Think of that. Now compare that to just after 3.5 years of Biden and Harris, adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin is up 50%. Now 50% sounds good, but not when you're comparing it to almost 4,000%, right? 50%. You know, normally you'd say, oh, that sounds pretty good. Let's not put that into the speech. No, 50% is not good.
Back to the channel, Aaron here from Bitcoin Bros. That was Trump talking about Bitcoin and how it's going to explode. So why am I showing you that? Because we have the presidential inauguration coming on January 20th. That is when Trump will get in office. More to come on that in a second, but we're going to be talking about MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, Saylor Scientific in today's video. Make sure to stay tuned until the end. But why am I showing this? Because there has been a bit of a leak. Donald Trump is expected to issue executive orders on the first day of his presidency regarding Bitcoin and crypto. So what the leak has been, what people are saying that's going to happen, is SAB 121 is going to be pushed through an executive order by President Trump. That's what people are saying. That allows banks like JP Morgan, US Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo to be able to hold BTC. So that would be huge. And this actually passed Congress and it passed the Senate last year. But when it got to the president's desk, Joe Biden vetoed it. So now we may see Trump do this on day one in office. That would be absolutely huge for the crypto and Bitcoin space. And this is one of the catalysts that Saylor was talking about before any of these things happened, before the spot ETFs happening, before the fair value accounting happened. This is one of the three big catalysts that Saylor says needs to happen for us to get to a $5 million Bitcoin. We got the spot ETFs. We got the fair value accounting coming this year. Banks can custody Bitcoin. That will be the SAB 121 repeal from what President Joe Biden appealed last year. So this is going to be a huge step forward for the entire crypto industry. And if he does this on day one, you better expect Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto industry is definitely going to pump along with all this. And also, if they do the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, that would be just more fuel on the fire. And then to get into Saylor, we can see here they have acquired 237 BTC for around $23 million per Bitcoin. They have 100% BTC yield since adopting their Bitcoin treasury strategy in May 2024. So they're continuing to stack more Bitcoin, following the MicroStrategy playbook. And as you can see here, an update from Michael Saylor, he's saying MicroStrategy treasury operations last week resulted in a BTC gain of 1,440 Bitcoin, BTC yield of 0.32% at 96K per Bitcoin. This translates to shareholder value created of $138.2 million. So big things there from SMLR and MSTR. And checking out the current price, we have SMLR at around $52. Their market cap is only $500 million, We have Bitcoin trading at 95.7. We're up around 1% today. SMLR flat on the day. And then you have MSTR here up 1.35%. We're back up to 332. We actually opened the day pretty hot, up around 350, sold off after that. Bitcoin had a nice pump over the past couple of days, back up to 95,000. Hopefully Bitcoin sustains this rally over the next couple of weeks, and we'll see MicroStrategy perform well, and we'll see Saylor perform well, and all the other Bitcoin proxies. And we'll also be talking about some of the other Bitcoin proxies on our channel. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure to subscribe. And also, this is MooMoo. Check out MooMoo. We have an affiliate link that'll be in the comment section below. You sign up, you could potentially get up to 15 free stocks valued up to $2,000 per stock. So check them out. Great brokerage. Have been using them for a while now. They're pretty legit. So check them out if you guys want to. And it's basically free money. So just wanted to share that with you. And then to get back into some Bitcoin news here. So we can see the Bitcoin balance on exchanges is continuing to plummet. If this continues to go on, if we continue to see the ETFs buy up all this Bitcoin, we continue to see MicroStrategy and all these other corporations buy up Bitcoin, if we continue to see countries adopt a Bitcoin standard like what we've seen in El Salvador, and the Bitcoin continues to dwindle up, the price can only go up. And this is the first time, this is the first bull run that we've seen this. In the previous bull runs, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021, 2013, 2014, and everything before that, the Bitcoin balance on exchanges was going up and up and up. It peaked out at around 3.5 million, and we have been dropping since then. I think it peaked just before COVID, I think in 2020. I don't have the chart up, but we can see that this bull run is different because the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges is going down. So this could cause a huge supply shock in the future where the price of Bitcoin just has to go up because the exchanges don't have much of it to sell. And then there's been a lot of noise around Meta potentially taking some of their $72 billion in liquid assets and putting it into Bitcoin. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. We've seen Mark Zuckerberg kind of change his stance, leading more towards free speech, what he's doing with community notes. And we know Bitcoin and crypto is about giving the power back to the individual person and being very open and transparent. So it'll be interesting to see if Mark Zuckerberg says, hey, we need to put some Bitcoin on the balance sheet. I think we have a higher percent chance Meta do it before Microsoft would do it. So we'll keep you guys up to date as this continues to unfold. And then we have the largest Italian bank by total assets. They purchased 11 Bitcoin for a value of around 1 million euros, around 1 million USD there. First Italian bank to invest in Bitcoin. I thought this was really interesting because just a couple of months ago, Italy came out and said they're going to be raising the capital gains tax on cryptocurrencies from 26% to 42%. So it looks like this bank doesn't really care about those capital gains taxes. They're like, we're going to get some Bitcoin and hold on to it. So first bank in Italy to do that. That's some pretty big news there. And then Tether will be relocating to El Salvador. And this is really huge. El Salvador has been winning over the past 5 years since Nayib Bukele has adopted the Bitcoin reserve strategy. They have been winning. Now they're getting a huge company to come and relocate there. And Tether is huge, guys. I mean, they did $10 billion in profits in 2024. And some people think that Tether isn't a company. It's a decentralized cryptocurrency. Nobody has control over it. If you think that about Tether, you're completely wrong. Tether is a centralized company. They can freeze wallets. They can do things that you wouldn't think they'd be able to, being a quote unquote decentralized cryptocurrency. But they're definitely a company, 10 billion in profits there. And they're moving to El Salvador. That's huge for the country of El Salvador. And the president also said that he's trying to get a Bitcoin node in every household by 2025, pushing for greater adoption and a decentralized national economy. So El Salvador is just winning right now. Their Bitcoin profit is looking impressive, and I think their economy is going to continue to do well, especially when we're seeing huge companies like Tether move there. So good for El Salvador. And this is all I have for today's video, guys. Short one here today. I want to leave you guys with a Saylor clip. Like always, make sure to like and subscribe. We have new content coming out every single day. Appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Let's go ahead and check out this clip here.
When I discovered Bitcoin, or when I first bought Bitcoin, I was ready to retire. I thought I had served more than 30 years as a public company CEO. I thought, I have nothing left to prove in the world. There's not much for me to do. I'll just go ahead and retire and gracefully disappear from history. And Bitcoin plopped itself into my life and first teased me and then seduced me. And then it dragged me onto that stage today. Right? And so I was dragged onto a world stage, and I found myself now, instead of quietly retiring, I was now drawn into a role of advocacy such that I would get on a plane and fly to Sao Paulo or fly to Uruguay or fly to Prague, and obsess over things that I never need to obsess over, and go back on CNBC or go on Fox, go on television, and or sit down and record 1,000 hours of podcast. And these are all things that I discovered late in life. I would say I'm a late bloomer, right? Like I'm much older than the average Bitcoiner, right? And so it's like, how did this all happen? And I think it's Bitcoin inspired me, maybe inspired me, catalyzed me. So it changed how I spend my time. It changed my intellectual interest. It changed our corporate strategy, and it gave me a mission, and I felt compelled to do it, right? Bitcoin serves us all up a mission if we listen carefully to what it has to tell us.